is up, everyone? Nico Lind here. Another beautiful day in Brazil. The wife, beautiful blue skies. Perfect day. Today we actually have a graduation party, so it's going to be a pretty low-key day, but I think before then we're going to call Piscinas Naturales. Is that correct? Natural pools. It's supposed to be beautiful, and then I think I'm going to go try sandboarding after that. So we're going to try to fit in a lot into this little compressed day we have because of the party, but stick with me, and I should show you guys a really fun time and some really beautiful sights today. So let's go. And we are on the road. Usually when we were leaving the Airbnb that we're staying at, wherever we went, the navigation just would put us directly on the highway to get wherever we wanted. And so the highway drives became pretty repetitive, and we never really saw anything new. However, today on the way to these natural pools and also to the sandboarding, which stick around because that is funny and y'all are gonna see me absolutely wipe out and hurt myself many times, but I digress. The GPS took us on these back roads through some Brazilian villages and farmland, and oh my God, it was absolutely stunning. It's a lot of these little villages that kind of sit in the foothills, I guess you can call them. And there's this green everywhere. It's pretty classic, I'll say lower income because it is rural, but Brazilian architecture and how things are. And I really, really enjoyed seeing that part of Brazil. And I'm very thankful that the GPS took us this way. As I just mentioned, our first activity of the day is sandboarding, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's snowboarding, except no snow and in sand instead. And so they have all these dunes that are sand dunes that are right along the beach. And so because of how windy it was, we decided to walk up the closest dune to see if it was gonna be worth doing with that amount of wind. I mean, you can see the sand just shooting off the peaks right now. But we ultimately decided that yes, it was worth it. I don't have many opportunities in my life to do this, and so I was not about to let this one pass me up. So I braved the wind and decided to accept that I was gonna have my clothes, my pants, and every orifice of my body covered in sand by the end of today, but well worth it, as you are about to see. We went to get our board, and like most things in South America, it really wasn't that expensive. I think we maybe paid $20 per board, but the board is basically a snowboard except instead of clips to tie in your boots, there's basically just little straps to keep your feet on the board. And then he gave us a little block of wax that you rub all over the bottom of the board to make sure that it, goes over the sand smoothly. Okay, so as a little backstory for everybody, I have grown up my entire life in the South. I was born in South Louisiana, and then since I was born, have lived my entire life in Central and South Florida. So I have never in my life seen snow before, meaning I have never tried snowboarding. So doing a boarded sport like this is completely foreign to me. Now, I have done a little bit of wakeboarding, but as I quickly learned, the wakeboard skills really do not transfer over to this. And so it took me a little bit to really get my balance and get my bearings on how things felt on the board. As you can see here, I'm struggling a little bit to stay upright, but it's all a learning process. And I think by the end, as you'll see, I think I really did get it pretty well. Melly and her cousin really were not too keen on getting on the actual snowboard, sandboard, whatever you want to call it, and hurting themselves. So instead they got this sled. They needed a little help getting going, so as the wonderful husband I am, I gave him a friendly push. The camera really flattens down height, so it's hard for you guys to see really how big these dunes are. This one's not very big, but you can see how far they ended up going still. That wax really works on the bottom of the board. Right here, I don't have any wax on the bottom of the board, and I barely can move, so it is really important. Need more wax, maybe? Giddy up! I need more wax. Oh, I'm gonna hurt myself on this one. You can get an idea of how high that hill is right here. I know the camera flattens out heights easily, but at least you can get a little bit of an idea. I know it doesn't look crazy fast, and it's not crazy fast, but when you're actually on the board struggling for balance and it's your first time ever doing something like that, it is a ton of fun, and I felt like I was absolutely flying down that sand hill. This is something I really enjoyed and really want to do again one day. This is a sweet little drop that was a ton of fun, and so you know that I had to do it again, and I put a fresh coat of wax on the bottom of the board, and so you can see I'm moving a whole lot faster than I was on the first run. This is so much fun. After that last drop, we found what looked to be the biggest sand hill in this entire sand dune area, and so I could not pass up an opportunity to try to sandboard down the hill. I'm not in extremely good shape right now, so the walk through the heavy wind and super fine sand was extremely tiring, but well worth it to try to get down this hill, and probably end up hurting myself. But we're sitting on the top of this hill now, and you can see how high it is. Again, the camera flattens everything out, but this hill is super high, and you can see the sand flying by my head too because the wind is absolutely whipping. It's finally time to go down this big sand hill, and of course, ladies first. Got it. Yeah! From that slide, you can really tell how high up this sand hill is. Here we go! Before I drop into this hill here, just look at the wind blowing the sand off the peak of this sand hill. I really want to come back here on a day when there's no wind. That was amazing. Good fun. That one is definitely going to leave a mark on my hip. That was painful. Here is Melly filming me from the bottom, and you can really see how high up there it is. As you're about to see, I really need to practice my balance and my sandboarding skill. This wasn't as bad as the fall y'all just saw, but I could not make it down this hill without falling one time. I think it was just an ounce above my skill level. Pure embarrassment. That was amazing. For someone who's never snowboarded or even seen snow before, which I feel like this is pretty close to, I feel like I did pretty good. Walking through this sand with the wind in our face is absolutely brutal. What do you think about it, Melly? Talk to the camera loud.
I'm dead already.
Miserable, but worth it for a good time. And finally made it back through the sand to the car. Pavement never felt so nice. Let me tell you, sandboarding took the life out of me. Baby, what do you think?
I'm gonna sleep now.
I am beat. On top of that, we're both a little bit sick, so the sandboarding and the physical activity on top of that has just destroyed us. But we have limited time in Brazil, so we're gonna rally, power through, and make the best of it. And right now, going to the beach to recoup a little bit before hopefully we go on that hiking trail. We made it to the beach, and all of the beaches around here have a very South American feel, which makes sense. We're in South America, but they do feel a whole lot different than the beaches we have here in Florida. I know different parts of South America have different types of beaches, but these beaches don't feel like Florida beaches. But here's the restaurant, and the beach that it's on is absolutely stunning. Beautiful, beautiful blue skies today. You can see the waves coming in, the mountains in the background, And this beach was a little bit less packed than some of the other beaches we went to on this trip, which I love. I really do not like crowded beaches, so I really appreciated how this beach was not crowded. Because Melly and I were both a little bit sick and tired from the sandboarding and just not feeling our best, we really didn't want to just go sit and lay out on the beach. And so we went up to the restaurant, had a couple beers, got some cheese fries and some peel and eat shrimp. After we finished eating and having a couple drinks, I saw some rocks down at the edge of the beach and could not fight the masculine urge to go and climb all over those rocks and explore the area. So I dragged Melly along with me and off we went. So these rocks were definitely not as fun or as challenging as the beach rocks that I went on in the first episode of this Brazil series, which I'll link up above, but we still had a lot of fun just jumping around the rocks and exploring a little bit. You can see that quite a few people had the exact same idea that we did because these rocks were pretty packed.
Just got back in the car now from the beach. Melly and I weren't really feeling the beach, to be honest. I get a little bit spoiled having grown up in South Florida for my entire life and in the Bahamas, that the beach doesn't really do it for me anymore, especially when it's 65 degrees outside and the wind is blowing like 30 knots. It's not a good time. I understand it for, you know, Melly's family who lives in landlocked Bolivia and is unable to, you know, to go to the beach unless they come to a place like this. But it just didn't do it for me. So Melly and I didn't do too much on the beach. We just walked around, went and explored the rocks like y'all saw. And then we just came in here and sat in the car and relaxed for a little bit because both of us are starting to get a little bit sick and the sandboarding absolutely took it out of us. And so we have about an hour drive back to the Airbnb. We're gonna attempt to get ready super speedy and be able to go catch the sunset at the same spot that we went the other day that you saw in the video, with the beautiful beaches and the boats that look like they belong in Thailand and all that good stuff. And then it is party night tonight. We have a party for her sister Tefi's graduation, so we still have somewhat of a busy day left. I don't know how I'm gonna make it through because I just want to fall asleep for about 18 hours right now, but we're gonna find a way to make it through.
Okay, I promise I'm done with the driving videos after this one, but please, one more time, just take in the absolute beauty of driving down these back roads in Brazil. The mountains, the sunset, how green everything is. I love driving, I like cars, and so I could drive around these roads for hours, just play some country music and be 100% content in life. I really enjoyed this aspect of this country.
Just dropped off the crew that we had in the car back at the Airbnb, and the sun supposedly sets at I think 6:05 here tonight, and it's 5:55, and so we are absolutely boogieing to try to hit that same sunset spot as yesterday. By the time sunset comes around, even if we miss it, should still be a pretty last light, 30 minutes or so. But come join us and enjoy the most beautiful sunset you'll ever see in your life.
We made it to the same beach that we were in the last Brazil episode, and I said it then, I'll say it again. This beach produces some of the most perfect sunsets I have ever seen in my entire life. We made it a little bit past sunset, but that's okay. We still get this last 30 minutes of last light. You can see those boats that I said to me look like they belong in Thailand out there. I think they're actually oyster boats. But the mountains in the background, the sand, there's definitely a couple more people here today than there were yesterday, but that's okay. We can share the view. Just an overall stunning, stunning, stunning sunset. I won't spend too much time on it because you saw it yesterday, and I'll link that video above here. That was the last episode of the Brazil series, but could not ask for a better end to the day. And the sunset just kept getting prettier and prettier. A quick look at one of these oyster boats, and they have these tiny little motors and tiny little propellers, but I guess that's all they need because they really only go like 50 yards offshore and that's it. This shot here is just to give you guys an idea of how small and tucked away this beach really is. It's a pretty hard beach to find.
Whoa. Smile. As you can see, we made it just after sunset, but we still caught a beautiful,
gorgeous.
last light, twilight, whatever you call that. Absolutely stunning. I decided I wasn't going to put the drone up again just because I did yesterday, and I wanted to enjoy the time with this lovely lady right here. But I'm just going to reiterate that is
one of the most beautiful sunsets in Brazil.
It is stunning. It's the most beautiful sunset in Florianopolis. It might be the most beautiful sunset in all of Brazil, maybe in the world. I don't even know. It is simply amazing. But I'm pretty sure you guys are over talking about the sunset. So let's get on home, get some food, and then it's party time for the rest of the night.
Ooh, come with us.
Ooh, yes. I'm excited. The party doesn't start till 10:30 because we're in South America and nothing starts early here, but should be a good time. We are back
And
ready to party. And from spending my time in South America, mostly in Bolivia with Melly, I have learned that in South America, they do their parties right. Very, very big. The last graduation party I went to, how did that end up?
I don't remember any of it.
I don't remember any of it. My night was finished way earlier than it should have been, but tonight's gonna be better. I'm gonna behave tonight, I promise.
We'll see about that.
We'll see. And so, I'm not gonna bring this camera because obviously I'm not gonna bring this big camera to a formal party, but I am gonna be filming a little bit on my phone just to show you how crazy these South America parties are, because woof, they are elaborate and wild and awesome. So, let's go have a good time.
Yeah.
Ooh, looking good, my baby.
Yes.
Ready to party.
So this is a graduation party, and so to start the party, all of the recent graduates, they all go up on stage, they have their moment of fame, and then they come meet their parents that are lined up down the aisle like this. That is my beautiful sister-in-law, Tefi, which is short for Stephanie. They have their walkout music. I can't play any of it because it's gonna get this video copyrighted, but she's looking absolutely stunning. She's happy, she just graduated, and overall, really cool. Definitely a whole lot more, ornate's not the word, but a whole lot more exciting than a lot of the graduation parties that we have here in the States. The walkout ceremony was finished with a little father-daughter and mother-son dance. And that was followed by a sibling dance, so Melly is out there dancing with Tefi now. And something that I thought was really interesting was the event itself. They love their American music there, and they had a band there playing all American music, but the people really did not like the music that much. And so everyone was kind of standing around waiting for the Brazilian party music to come on, and that music is called Funke, which is like I guess, Latin house music. It's really good. I thoroughly enjoy it, and it's extremely good party music. And so everyone's kind of just waiting around for the Funke to come on, and he comes on in a little bit. They had a DJ come out who was in a cow costume, and so they have a good time with it. And my youngest sister-in-law, Emmy, and I keep ourselves occupied with a little tequila shots. And the Brazilian Funke finally came on, and everyone is enjoying it, dancing, and have a great time. All of Tefi and her friends were actually teaching me how to dance to Funke, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. And this is the Brazilian DJ that I mentioned in a cow costume. And to close the night out, my sister-in-law thought it was a good idea to get up on the stage with the DJ, so that was a lot of fun. But that's about it for this video. If you liked the video, please do like it, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. That really helps me keep growing the channel. But I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.